Police have smashed in a car window to arrest Eve Black, a coronavirus skeptic who posted a video of herself breaching a Melbourne checkpoint. Here's a reminder of what she did.
I don't need to answer your questions. No. Have I committed a crime?
Pardon?
Have I committed a crime?
No, I'm just asking where you're travelling today.
Have I committed a
No,
crime?
you can keep going.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, they caught up with her yesterday. She's now been arrested. And for more, we are joined by legal expert Justin Quill in Melbourne. Justin, thanks for your time this morning. I mean, first up, though, you are in lockdown. I assume you're doing the right thing. How do you feel about this woman's actions?
Look, it's frustrating, I guess, and you know, given that I'm on a live television show, I'll be careful with my language. But frustrating is an understatement, to be frank. But look, everyone's trying to do the right thing. I've got my mask here. We've got an exemption where it's important for people to be able to hear us, so that's why I have the mask off for the moment while I'm doing this cross. But as soon as I've finished it, I'll be putting it back on. And if everyone does the right thing, you know, we will get on top of it. But when you see people flouting the laws, and especially we just heard what we heard about the Queensland situation, it is frustrating to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, it's appalling action. I mean, that was video that was taken last week. She was so proud of herself for that. Yesterday, police caught up with her. They smashed her window when she again refused to provide any details. Plenty of people this morning saying good on them. What's she being charged with?
Yeah, and look, it's important to note that what happened yesterday is obviously a very separate incident to the one that we saw the video of a moment ago. Look, she's been charged, she's been released, and there's a summons on its way to her. So a little bit like the checks in the mail for her. Unfortunately for her, the summons is in the mail. It's driving offences. It's failure to produce a licence with identifying details, and also failure to comply with the directives of the Chief Medical Officer. So that's what she's going to be charged with.
Well, we've been talking about these two teenagers in Queensland and whether or not the punishment fits the crime. In regards to what Eve Black has done here, what can she be charged with? I mean, what can she be fined, and what is the potential punishment?
Yeah, I mean, it's an unusual situation. This is very different to normal circumstances where someone walking down the street, the police can't just stop you and ask you for identification unless they think you have committed a crime or about to commit a crime. But we are in a state of emergency at the moment. That's been officially declared. And in Victoria, for example, there's a particular act, the Health and Wellbeing Act, and that sets out all the provisions that apply when we're under a state of emergency. And so where you don't follow the directives of the Chief Medical Officer, Brett Sutton in the case of Victoria, and his delegates, so Victoria Police, then you can be fined some pretty serious fines. Now, at the moment, if I was to walk down the street without a mask, I would be up for 10 penalty units. That's about $1,652, but you can be fined up to 120 penalty units. So it's nearly $20,000 if you continue to flout those laws. So the fines can get pretty serious. 1,652 might not seem like a lot if you don't follow those directives, but they can get ramped up if you continue to do so. Not wearing a mask is $200, it's a lower fine, but other things like going through checkpoints and things like that, it's the 1,652.
Well, hopefully it sends a strong message to these COVID skeptics to do the right thing and do it for all of us. Thanks for joining us this morning, Justin.